Bumper week up ahead over in League One as Hull City and Peterborough still lead the charge of their quest for, of course, Championship football. But what about the chasing backs? The likes of Sunderland, Portsmouth, and, of course, the Tangerines are too far away. We'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at match number 41 over in the League One, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe to get you bang at all things League One related, Blackburn Rovers related, who could be in League One next season related, of course, world football related. We're going to all here, boys, under one roof. Of course, Sunderland keep on winning, so do, of course, Blackpool, but, of course, nothing is stopping Hull City at the moment. We'll take a look at the table and all that kind of jazz in just a second. A big shout out to the VIP Band of Brothers. I'm talking about the patrons. But anyway, thank you for your continued support. Big shout out to you guys. And again, if you're interested, check out the link down below. So, of course, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at an extended bumper edition of League One picks, of course, including the weekend's action coming up. And, of course, following on to the midweek matches next week. So, all congested. I think there's about 20 games, 20 points up for grabs. So, of course, good chance for you guys in the prediction league. So, here we go, kicking on, of course, a look back at those Easter Monday matches. And here they were. Wimbledon against Fleetwood Town. Ended up as a 1-0 win for Fleetwood. Baddy McKay get the goal for, of course, Fleetwood as they got the win on the road. Good win for them as well. 1-0 for me, going the other way. Of course, Blackpool, big winners over Gillingham. 4-1 in the end. Of course, Rovers linked with, of course, Jerry Yates with a couple of goals himself. Sully Kakai as well. Elliot Embleton getting the goals, of course, for Blackpool. Jordan Graham getting the goal for Gillingham, but not good enough. 4-1 win for Blackpool. 2-0 for me. Bristol Rovers going to win. Of course, Barton's boys in the end. 2-1 winners over Doncaster Rovers. Luke McCormick with a couple of goals there. James Coppinger as well, giving Doncaster a share. A glimmer of hope, but unfortunately not good enough. Burton back to winning ways as well with a 2-1 win over Swindon. Goals coming from who were they? Of course, Thomas Hamer, John Brayford as well. Jack Payne, ex-Rovers player, of course, on the Swindon books there, scoring for them. 2-1 win for Burton as again they move away from the drop. Meanwhile, Hull City 3-0 winners over Northampton Town. Big win for them as well. Callum Ada, of course, Keen Lewis Porter, and of course Gavin White as well, getting on the goal score sheet for the Tigers as they keep on dreaming. 3-0 for them, 3-0 for me. Not too shabby. MK Dons suffered a defeat to Crewe, I believe. 2-0 loss going in favour of Crewe. Goal scorers on the day for Crewe was, of course, Mikael Mandron with a couple of goals there for Crewe to give them the win. 2-1 for 2-0 for them, 2-1 for me, going the other way. Oxford were shambled by, of course, Accrington Stanley. That's right, 2-1 winners for Accrington Stanley. Goals come from Portsmouth or Smythe, Michael Nottingham as well. Elliot Lee getting the goals for Oxford, but not good enough. Peterborough Sunderland, the battle at the top there, end up all square, 1-1 in the end. Goal scorers coming from Sike Dembele and Eddie McGeady getting a leveller on the 81st minute as Sunderland keep their dream of automatics alive, of course. Rochdale against Ipswich was a 0-0 draw. Probably Rochdale fancy with the better point out of that. And I went with the 2-0 in favour of Ipswich, so shame on me. Shrewsbury, big winners over Plymouth Argyle, 3-0 in the end. William Aimson with the big fat OG, Sean Wally as well, Nathan Ugatega getting a goal as well for Shrewsbury as they cruised to a 3-0 win over Plymouth. 1-1 for me. Wigan also suffered a defeat again to Pompey. Crowley's boys are moving in the right direction. Of course, Andrew Cannon getting the goal for Portsmouth as they edge closer to the automatics as well. And Charlton against Lincoln was postponed. We'll have to wait and see about that. I got myself 4 out of 11, which isn't great, but it's okay. And of course, the table looks like this as it stands. Hull City lead the charge, 3 points clear over Peterborough, who are just 2 points clear over Sunderland, who have a game in hand. Portsmouth are breathing down their necks as well. Blackpool not too far away either. And of course, Lincoln City in the top 6 as of right now. Still got anyone's guess as to who will get in the playoffs as the season comes to a close. Rochdale, Wigan, Wimbledon and Bristol Rovers going down as it stands. Burton seem to be safe as ours is right now. Got a bit of a country mile between themselves and the likes of Northampton Town. So 6 points clear and they've got games in hand as well. Let's take a look at your picks then, shall we? It's the criteria. You know the deal. Yes, you do. Iron Stringer did okay. Isle of Army also did good. Forever Football PUFC also did good. Shannon Ninja not too bad. Of course, LMC, you know me, had a nightmare, but it's okay. Anaran also had a poop one. Game Child did bits. Jan Buster also did alright. Chris Hain, not too bad. Of course, HA24 did poop. STFC Jenko did good. Of course, Omar Esquivel, not too shabby. Kicking off all Vincent Hong did bits. James PSFC are great. Oh, poop. Carter McDonald also did great. Russell Frost kicking ass, taking names once again. Faria 77, not too bad. Okay, didn't do okay. Lee 2021 did bits. Jonathan Sandham, not too bad. Of course, Joker Biax also had a nightmare, but it's okay. And Ultra Omen, not too bad either. Let's take a look at the leaderboard as it stands for this week and this week alone. Your name's Anna James BCC, okay, just close your eyes, mate. But if your name's Vinny Hung, aka Vincent Hung, or Feria77, take a bloody bow. You're the kingpins for this week, and you should wear the crown with glory. But of course, what's that done to the overall leaderboard? Well, of course, no major change at the top of the table, but the points are available for your leisure on the right-hand side. So you now know there's an 8-point cushion between Frosty and, of course, Yoki Jackson in the race for the top. STS Jenko's got a bit of work to do. He's going to get in there, but he's still got a chance, especially this week. Why? Because we've got this on the agenda. We've got a whole host of picks on there. Basically, you need a power outage wherever Frosty lives, maybe Barnsley. I don't know. You know, he supports Barnsley, so just go there, cut the power, and then, of course, the likes of STSC Jenko and the Chasing Pack could make this a bit interesting. But anyway, let's get into the deep end then, shall we? I might take a bit of a break halfway through, but we'll get through all of these. Kick it all off with Accrington. Stanley against AFC Wimbledon. Played on the last 6, of course, 3 wins. Accrington, nothing for Wimbledon. Of course, 3 draws last round in Accrington. Was a 2-1 win for Accrington. Goals coming from Jordan Clark, Dean Charles as well. Joe Pitcher get himself sent off. Joe Piggott getting a goal for Wimbledon, but unfortunately not good enough. Also, Pitcher this season in Wimbledon was a 2-1 win for Accrington back in, of course, October. Heading into this, Accrington just won defeat the past 4. That was against Peterborough. 7-0 loss it was. Embarrassing as for Wimbledon. Back-to-back defeats for them as they start to spin out of control. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We have Accrington 23-20 for the victory. 12-5 is draw. 23-10 is your Wimbledon. Wimbledon currently find themselves in the drop zone, but a win for them, they can move up to 19th. Accrington, they're in 11th, but a win for them, they can move up to 7th. And guess what? That's playoffs back on the agenda again. 1-0 win for Accrington Stanley. 3 points in the bag for them. Next up, we have Crewe Alexandra taking on, of course, Oxford United. Players of the last 5, 3 for Crewe, 1 for Oxford, and 1 draw. Last round in Crewe. 3-1 win for Crewe back in League 2, of course, back in September 2011. Sean Miller with a couple of goals there back in the day. AJ Leach Smith as well on the score sheet with Liam Davis getting the goal for Oxford. Also players of this season in the Kazam as a 2-0 win for Crewe as well back in November. Oxford, though, losing the last 3 away matches in League 1. Coming into this, just 1 win in the past 5. That one was against Lincoln City at home. Meanwhile, Crewe winning 3, losing 3 in the past 6 games. They're a bit hot and cold at the moment. But of course, the bookies odds 31-20 for the victory for Crewe, 12-5 is draw, 13-8 is your Oxford United. Oxford are in 12th, and a win for them, they can move up to 7th. Of course, as for Crewe, they're down to 14th, but a win for them, they can move up to 10th. And again, if they get the win, that's them back in the old player hunt once again. 2-1 win for Crewe at home, take the 3 points. Next, of course, Doncaster Rovers on a bit of a free fall at the moment, taking on, of course, Wigan, who need their bloody points. They've got new owners, lucrative owners, but will they be in this division, or will they be down into League 2? Anyway, players for the last 6, 2 wins for Doncaster, 3 for Wigan, and 1 draw last time around. At the Keepmoat was a 1-0 win for Wigan back in, of course, May 2018. William Grigg, who was on fire back in the day, of course, scoring the 1-0 goal. This time around, though, the players for the DW this season was a 1-0 win for Wigan. Joe Garner on the score sheet back in, of course, October. Wigan, no failed to score in the last 3 matches in League 1. Doncaster have actually lost their last 3 matches in League 1 as well. Heading into this, 2 teams in very, very shitty kind of form. Doncaster were down to win at least 6. 1 win in the past 6, though, for Wigan. That was against Plymouth all the way back at the start of March. Quick look at the bookies odds on this one. Doncaster 11-10 for the victory. 5-2 is your Wigan. 12-5 is your draw. Wigan are in 23rd, but a win for them, they can move up to 20th. As for Doncaster, they're down 10th right now, but a win for them, they can move back up to 7th. Going to go with the 1 win for Doncaster, even though I'd rather have Wigan winning it, but I think Doncaster will nick it in the end. Fleetwood Town up against Rochdale. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, played each other the last 6, 2 wins apiece and 2 bloody draws last time around. In Fleetwood, 2-1 win for Fleetwood back in, of course, September 2019. Goals from Danny Andrew, Ched Evans as well on the score sheet, with Rick Ellie Pike getting the goal for, of course, Rochdale. Last time around, though, this season in Scotland, in Rochdale, back in October, 2-1 win for Rochdale. Lund, Tavares and Saunders on the score sheets for the respective clubs. Rochdale are failing to win the 12 of the last 13 matches in League 1. They come into this. Rochdale just 1 defeat the past 4. That 1 defeat was against Portsmouth, a couple of draws knocking around. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 3 games for Fleetwood. That was against Wimbledon just the other day. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Fleetwood 20-17 on for Fleetwood. Of course, 13-5 is your 3-1 is your Rochdale. Rochdale also submerged in the relegation spots, but a win for them, they could go up to 22nd. As for Fleetwood, them to 15th at the moment, but a win for them, they can move into the top half of the table. That's 12th. Going to go with the 2-1 for Fleetwood on this one. 3 points in the bag. Rochdale are doomed. Next up, of course, Gillingham taking on, of course, Shrewsbury Town. Players for the last 6, 1 win apiece, 4 draws. Last time around at Priestville was a 2-0 win for Gillingham back in, of course, January 2020. Sean O'Keefe and Ollie Lee getting the goals, of course, Gillingham back in the day. Also this season, though, the players of the Shrewsbury Keepmoat. No, what do they call it? The Meadow, whatever it is. 1-1 draw back in, of course, October. This campaign. Gillingham undefeated in the last 5 home matches in League 1. They come into this, though, just 1 win the past 4 games. That one was against, of course, Wigan. Of course, a couple of draws and a defeat to boot. As for Shrewsbury, 2 wins in the past 4 games. The other 2 were defeats. Kind of hot and cold, really. Bookies odds on this one, 23-20 for Gillingham, 23-10 is your draw. At 12-5 is your Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury coming to 17th, but a win for them, they can move up to 16th. As for Gillingham, they're in 9th, but a win for them, they can move up to 7th. And again, get back in the old playoff hunt as well. I think I'm going to go with a draw on this one, point split right down the middle. And I think Shrewsbury will be happy, of course. Next, of course, Ipswich Town taking, of course, Milton Keynes Dons. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, played to the last 6 forwards at Ipswich, 1 win for Milton Dons, and 1 draw last round in Ipswich. Was a 3-2 win for Ipswich. Back in the Championship, of course, that was back in April 2016. David McGoldrick, Brett Pittman, of course, Luke Varney, ex-Rover on the score sheet. Alex Revel getting a couple of goals there for MK Dons. Also played each other this season at the Stadium MK. It was a 1-1 draw back in, of course, October. Ipswich are undefeated in the last 7 home matches in League One. They come into this. Ipswich just 1 win the past 5 games, though. The one was against, of course, Bristol Rovers back in April. The 2nd of April, of course. As for MK Dons, just one defeat the past 5. That one defeat was against Crewe just the other day. Prior to that, 4 wins on the spin. Heading into this, what do we have going on? It's 11-8 for Ipswich, 12-5 is draw, 9-5 is your MK Dons. MK Dons coming to sit in 13th, but a win for them they can move up to 10th. Ipswich are in 8th, and a win for them they can move up to 6th. That's playoffs, boys. That's playoffs. 2-0 for MK Dons. Sorry, 2-0 win for Ipswich on this one. MK Dons suffering a defeat. Next up, of course, Lincoln City on the cusp of dropping out of the playoffs. Of course, taking on, of course, Blackpool, who are flying bloody high. Interesting one. This one is what, 5th against 6th. Played to the last 6. Of course, 3 wins for Lincoln, 2 for Blackpool, and of course 1 draw. Last round in Lincoln was a 1-0 win for Lincoln back in, of course, January 2020. Tyrese John Jules on the score sheet giving Lincoln City the win. Also played to this season at Bloomfield Road was a 3-2 win for Lincoln as well back in, of course, October. Blackpool keeping clean sheet in the last 5 away matches, also winning the last 5 as well. Heading into this, get 4 wins the past 5 games. The only hiccup was a draw against Plymouth. Meanwhile, Lincoln City 3 defeats the past 4 games. Their only positive was a draw against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Look at the bookies odds on this one. We've got it going on. Of course, it is Lincoln City. Potentially, it might even be postponed. I cannot see any odds, but we'll call it anyway. Of course, a win for Lincoln City in 6th. They could go as high as 4th. Blackpool are in 5th, and for them, they can move up to 4th as well. If it goes ahead, I'm going to go with a 2-1 for Blackpool. Of course, it is. Next, of course, Northampton Town taking on Bristol Rovers. Relegation 6-pointer, if I ever did see one. Played to the last 6, of course. What do we have on this? We have 5 wins for Bristol Rovers, nothing for Northampton, and 1 draw. Last round in Northampton was a 2-1 win for Bristol Rovers. That was, of course, in the Papa John's Trophy. Last time played each other in the league was in League One. And, of course, it was in Northampton. It was a 6-0 win for Bristol Rovers back in, of course, October 2017. Goal scores on the day. Billy Bowden, Ellis Harrison, Rory Gaffney, Liam Sercombe, and, of course, Dominic Telford on the score sheet. Harrison got a couple of goals in that 6-0 demolition. Bristol Rovers, though, have lost the last 6 away matches heading into this. Can see at least 2 goals in the last 4 away matches as well. They come into this on the back of a win against Doncaster Rovers. Meanwhile, Northampton 2 wins and 2 defeats in the past 4 games have them a little bit confused as to what kind of form they're in. 6-4 on for Northampton, 23-10 is draw, 7-4 is Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers coming into this in 21st, but a win for them they can move up to 19th. And sitting in 19th is Northampton. A win for them they can close in on 18th. Going to go with the Bristol Rovers on this one. Barnes boys, tails up, big win on the weekend, and I'll carry on here to make it 2 wins on the spin. Plymouth Argyle taking, of course, Hull City. Played each other last 6, of course, 4 wins for Plymouth, 2 for Hull, no draws. Last time around in Plymouth was a 1-0 win for Hull back in the Championship, of course, back in February 2008. Goal scores on the day. Dean Windass with the 1 and only goal. Also played each other this season at the KCOM. Was a 1-0 win for Plymouth Hull back in October this season. Hull are undefeated in the last 9 matches in League One. Scoring at least 2 goals in 5 of the last 6 away matches as well. Coming into this, unbeaten in the last 6, picking up 4 wins and 2 draws to boot. As for Plymouth, just 1 defeat the past 4. That 1 defeat was against Shrewsbury on the road. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Plymouth coming into this 15-4 for the victory, 14-5 is your draw, 7-10 or 10-7 on is your Hull. They are your favourites. They come into this top and they'll be top if they pick up a draw or more. As for Plymouth, they're into 16th, but a win for them they can move up to 13th. Got a bit of an upset on this one with a 2-2 draw in the end. Portsmouth taking on, of course, Burton Albion. Getting into this one, of course, 2 kind of formed teams at the moment-ish. Burton bouncing back recently, of course, Portsmouth 4 wins on the spin. Last 6 between 2 sides, of course, these 2 wins for Portsmouth, 1 for Burton and 3 draws. Last round in Fratton Park was a 2-2 draw back in, of course, September 2019. Joe Sabara, of course, Kieran Wallace as well, Ron Curtis, and Brett Pittman on the score sheet for, of course, Pompey. Meanwhile, John Joe 2-0-2 get himself sent off for Burton. Also, the picture of this season, Dan Burton was a 4-2 win for Pompey back in October. Burton now keeping clean sheet in 6 of the last 8 away matches, whereas Portsmouth actually won the last 4 in League One. They're coming into this, though. Burton just 1 win, though, the past 5 games. That 1 was against Swindon. Meanwhile, 4 wins on the spin for Pompey have them daydreaming of automatics once again. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Portsmouth 20-13 on for the victory, 3-1 is your draw, 15-4 is your Burton. Burton come into this, of course, 18th, and win for them, can close in on 17th. Portsmouth are in 4th, and for them, they can close in on 3rd. Going to go with a 3-1 for Pompey on this one. Unfortunately, Burton will suffer a defeat. Next, of course, Sunderland, the in-form team at the moment, grinding their results, taking, of course, Charlton, of course, new manager bounce there, Nigel Atkins. Played for the last 6, 1 for Sunderland, 3 for Charlton, of course, 2 draws. Last time around at the Stadium Live was a 2-1 win for Sunderland back in, of course, August 2018. Josh Major, of course, Linda Gooch on the score sheet, of course, and Lara Taylor getting the goal for Charlton. Heading into this, though, Charlton unbeaten the last 5, picking up 3 wins and 2 draws to boot. Meanwhile, the last 4, 2 wins and 2 draws course, for Sunderland, have them dreaming, of course, for the Championship football once again. Bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this again? 11 and 10 on for Sunderland. For this one, 5-2 is your 3-1 is your Charlton. Charlton coming to this, of course, in 7th, but win for them, they can move into 6th. Of course, Sunderland are 3rd, and win for them, they can move into 2nd. That's automatics, boys. I think they're going to nick it 2-1 win over Charlton, and unfortunately, take the 3 points. Swindon Town up against Peterborough, of course, the last game of the weekend. Of course, last 6 between two sides, 2 wins for Swindon, 3 for Peterborough, and 1 draw. Last time around in Swindon was a 1-win for Peterborough back in, of course, January 20, 2017. Goal scorers on that day was Chris Forrester getting the 1 goal for Peterborough. Of course, Swindon have actually lost their last 3 home matches heading into this, conceded at least 2 goals in those last 3, and it's back-to-back defeats for them heading into this. Of course, Peterborough just 1 defeat. The last 6 that was against Blackpool, 3-1 loss. Of course, look at the bookies odds on this one. Swindon 17-4 for the victory, 40-5 is draw, 13-8 is your Peterborough on this one. A win for Peterborough in 2nd. They could go top depending on what goes on elsewhere. As for Swindon, they are actually in 20th, but a win for them, they can move up to 19th. I think Peterborough will get the win with a 2-0 win in the end. Here we go, though, with a second batch of matches. Of course, this will take place midweek. It's kind of a bit of a scraggly one from all over the place, but we'll get into the meat of the matter. Kicking a loss with who we taking up. We got Wimbledon up against Ipswich Bloody Town. So let's get into the last 2 between two sides. Of course, there's been 1 win for Ipswich, nothing for Wimbledon. Of course, 2 draws last time around in Wimbledon. It was a 0-0 draw back in February 2020. That was last season. Heading into this, though, of course, Ipswich just 1 win the past 5 games. So then that one was against Bristol Rovers. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Wimbledon have them daydreaming. Of course, it will be over in Wimbledon, and a chance for Ipswich to maybe make a move concretely for the playoffs. They have got 6 points on the agenda for this weekend. If they win this one, they could potentially go up as high as what we're talking about, 62, 65. They could go up as high as 4th as for Wimbledon and win for them in this one as well as the other one. They could also go up to what, 69? They could go up to 19th in the table. I'm going to go with Ipswich on this one to make it 2 wins out of 2 for them for this week. Beating MK Dons first week, but then beating Wimbledon next week, of course. Next, of course, Rochdale against Swindon Town. Another relegation 6-point if I ever did see one. Played the last 6 teams for Rochdale, 3 for Swindon, 1 draw. Last round in Rochdale was a 4-0 win for Rochdale back in, of course, November 2016. Goal scorers on that day: Joe Bunny, Matthew Lund, of course, Steve Davis, not the snooker player, but of course the goal scorer for Rochdale. 4-0 win last round at Spotland. Meanwhile, they also played each other this season down Swindon way. That was a 3-1 win for, of course, Swindon back in September. Heading into this back-to-back defeats for Swindon, looking a little bit honest at the moment. Meanwhile, 3 games without a win for Rochdale have them also scrambling. No bookies odds, but of course Rochdale 2 wins on the agenda for them. If they can get 6 points, they could go up to as high as 19th, of course. As for Swindon, same deal, of win for them in both of their games. They could go as high as 19th as well. Chance for both of them to get points on the board. I'm going to go with a draw on this one. So Rochdale not really getting any much movement or traction. As for Swindon, just 1 point as well. Meanwhile, Wigan Athletic taking, of course, Sunderland, their nearest and dearest, or bitter rivals, or whatever you want to call them. Anyway, played the last 6 wins for Wigan, 4 for Sunderland, no draws last time around. The DW was a 3-2 win for Sunderland back in, of course, January 20, 2013. That was in the Premier League, would I say. Stephen Fletcher with a couple of goals there. Craig Gardner as well. David Vaughan with the big for OG and Angelo Hengegueres on the score sheet, of course, Wigan. Also, played this season at the Stadium Night was a 1-0 win for Wigan. Sunderland undefeated in the last 12 matches in League One. Wigan, they failed to score in the last 3 matches as well. Coming into this, though, Sunderland without a win, without a defeat in 5. Meanwhile, nothing going on for Wigan as well, without a win in at least 5 as well. Coming into this, though, 6 points on the agenda for Wigan. If they win both of them, they could go up as high as 19th. Of course, Sunderland 6 points on the agenda for them. They could go top if they win both the games. Get a little bit lady luck going their way. I think I've got them winning both of them. Yep, 2-1 win on this one and 2-1 win on the other one to get them moving to potentially top of the pops. Next, of course, Lincoln City taking, of course, MK Dons. Again, a game that could go ahead or might not go ahead. We'll have to wait and see. Played the last 6, 3 for Lincoln, 2 for MK Dons and 1 draw. Last round in Lincoln was a 1-1 draw back in, of course, February 2020. Goal scores on the day: Liam Bridcut, of course, and Rhys Healy getting a goal for MK Dons. Heading into this, of course, MK Dons just 1 defeat past 5. Meanwhile, Lincoln without a win in at least 4. Heading into this, of course, 6 points on the agenda for Lincoln City. If they win both of those, they could go as high as, of course, 4th. As for their opposition, MK Dons, 6 points on the agenda for them, and if they win both of those, they could go as high as 7th. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Lincoln, though, which will make it back just the 1 win out of the 2, and of course 2 defeats in a row there for MK Dons. Blackpool up against Accrington, standing a bit of a local affair. This one played to the last 6, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. Last round at Bloomfield Road was a 1-0 win for Accrington back to December 2019. That was on Boxing Day. Also played each other this season in Accrington was a 0-0 draw as well. Also played each other in the Papa John's Trophy also this season. Also ended up 1-1 draw. So Blackpool's last victory over Accrington was all the way back in 2019 and Accrington. Blackpool are undefeated in the last 14 home matches heading into this, scoring at least 2 goals in the last 5. They came into this looking very, very good, winning 4 out of the past 5. The only hiccup was a draw against Plymouth. As for Accrington, just 1 defeat the past 4. Of course, 6 points on the agenda for Blackpool. Win both of those, they could go, believe it or not, all the way up to as high as 4th. As for Accrington win both of those, they could go as high as bloody 5th, and that's back in the dream, of course. Going to go with on this one, Blackpool with another 2-0 win. That's 2 wins on the bounce for them on this one. Doncaster Rovers taking, of course, Burton Albion. Of course, Doncaster in a bit of a rut. Burton climbing the table at the moment. Last 6, 1 was a piece, 4 draws, of course. Last time round at Doncaster was a 2-2 draw back in November 2019. Goal scores on the Doyle. David Templeton, of course, Lucas Atkins as well. John Taylor and Kieran Sadler getting on goals for Doncaster. Burton keeping clean sheet in 6 of the last 8 away matches. Doncaster have actually lost the last 3 on the road. Lost the last 3 both home and away. Heading into this, Doncaster actually really bad form. 4 defeats the past 5. As for Burton, just 1 win in the past 5 as well. So 2 teams looking for kind of a bit of consistency. Doncaster win both of those games. They could go as high as 5th. Burton, of course, back into 18th. But a win for them. And both of those games, they could go as high as, of course, 17th. And that's what gets, that will be them well clear. And, of course, looking for mid-table. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Burton on this one, which would make at least 1 win out of 2. Crewe, Alexandra, taking, of course, Pompey. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, 1 win for Crewe, 3 for Portsmouth, and 2 draws last round in. Crewe was a 0-0 draw back in, of course, League 2 back in August 2016. Also, pictures of this season. And Fratton Park was a 4-1 win for Portsmouth back in, of course, November. Heading into this, of course, Portsmouth 4 wins on spin. Crewe 3 wins and 2 defeats the past 5. Of course, win both the games for Crewe. They could go from 14th all the way up to 7th, depending on what goes on elsewhere. As for Portsmouth, again, win both of those games. They could go as high as 3rd or close to 3rd if they get the win. I think they'll get a bit of draw on this one. And for them, that'll be 4 points in the agenda. As for Crewe, it will be 4 points as well. And wrapping up with Shrewsbury up against Ipswich Town or Oxford. It will be Shrewsbury up against Oxford. Ignore what it says down there. Oxford against Shrewsbury, of course. Anyway, played each other last 6, 3 for Oxford, 1 for Shrewsbury, and of course 2 draws. Heading into this one last time around in Oxford was a 0-0 draw back in December 2019. Also played each other this season in Shrewsbury, 3-2 win for Oxford back in March. Of course, 6 points on the agenda for both Shrewsbury and Oxford this coming week. Week and a bit. Of course, win for both of them for Shrewsbury. They could go from 17th all the way up to, of course, 13th. As for Oxford, win both of those. They could go from 12th. They could go, what is it? They could go 62 all the way up to 6 in the table. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Oxford on this one, even though it's probably going to make a mess of my table. But anyway, if I'm right, which I hope so, this is what the table will look like, or something about this. Anyway, Hull will be leading the charge, 77 points in the world. Sunderland will be level on them. Of course, the goal difference separating the two sides with just 1 point separating Sunderland and Peterborough, as of course the season starts to come to a crashing halt. Blackpool, though, in the playoffs look comfortable at the moment. At Portsmouth and Ipswich make a very, very fruity top 6. Lincoln drop out of it, so do Doncaster and Accrington Stanley also starting to fall to the wayside. That's what I think will happen. And of course, the extended match day in League 1. Be sure to get picks and for this, and then we'll do it all again for match day number 42 or whatever it is out in League 1. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to give the video some love. Smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon if you want to support the channel in another way. Until then, though, I'm out.